Okay, our beloveds, and our another has just uploaded yesterday's message, and here we are ready to move on to the next step for many of you. It is not your desired path to grow for most of you, nor is it a desired path for those who even have chosen it because it is painful. But once you have unplugged the drain in your bathtub, the only option left is to surrender and to allow the pressure of life to take you where you are meant to go. And that is down the drain into the unknown, trusting that at some place you will pop out the other end into another body of water. Now, this first piece of surrender is so very difficult, and many of you continue to hold on for dear life over the edge of the bathtub in hopes that somehow the pressure to let go and surrender will release. And we're telling you that in this new energy of moving from the energy of the Piscean age into the Aquarian age does not offer that option any longer. It is literally a surrender or die energy that you are in now. And if you choose not to surrender, which many of you will opt for, it simply means that the tidal waves, the energetic pull to get you to release from the side of the bathtub will become stronger and stronger until your arms give up. It is a given, and many of you will continue to hold on until you transition. But just know that the energies of peace and relaxation that you felt you lived in or existed in the old patriarchal times is no longer present. And as we move more and more into this new age or energy of unconditional love, your lack of love for self and for others will make the contrast that much more difficult for you to experience and witness. And again, it is completely your journey to choose whether or not to surrender in this lifetime. And we honor either choice, but we are advising you of what it will look like with each of those paths. Surrender means that you will grow through your current life experiences and move into the next one and the next one and the next one, as if you were a gobstopper that was being sucked on by life, and each layer reveals the next layer and the next and the next. And for those of you who do not surrender, it will be as if you are the girl from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the one who ate the blueberry gum and started to expand and then float. The pressure from within became so great that she was no longer in control of her body and its movements, and they had to literally go and squeeze the juice out of her in order to bring her somewhat back to normal. This is simply a visual analogy to express to you that the pressure from within yourself will continue to expand like a balloon. And there is a point where a balloon will explode or pop if the pressure is not somehow released, whether through a large opening or even just a simple pinprick hole, which allows it to release some of the pressure. And you will find that your anger and your frustration and your hatred towards the world as well as life as a whole will increase, because you will find that you are no longer able to control the circumstances around you. Surrender is not saying, I have no input and I will just lay here like a wash rag. Surrender is where you say, I will do what I can that I feel is right, but I will trust that the universe will take me where I am meant to go and to experience what I am meant to experience in order to grow through this process. So surrender is not submitting your own free will. Surrender is releasing the desire to control and manipulate the outcome through your actions. Your actions are merely intended to preserve your right from a wholesome and loving perspective, and then the universe gets to put the other players in their particular place in the story called your life and allow the process to move out along the banks as you begin to wade into the water, if that makes sense. And once you are firmly entrenched in your raft, your river raft going down the river of life, then you will see. But right now we're trying to just get you to maybe stick a toe into the water, to recognize that it exists, and to trust that no matter what you do, that the outcome will be along the same lines, meaning your desire to manipulate and control the outcome will no longer work, because there are bigger forces at play, and all you can do is what is in your best interest, and then to simply allow us to play it out. Now, we will say that with time, the goal is for you to make decisions that are not in your own best interests, but in the best interest of the collective good. But we must start out with baby steps. The first surrender piece is to surrender the outcome to us, and not to change a whole lot in your own decision-making process, because you are not at that level of understanding how the universe works. But if you can just simply learn to breathe and relax into the process where you find yourself, and to give up the worry piece and the anger and the frustration and the hatred, and just allow your body to go into a state of peace and bliss and ease and acceptance and love and courage and strength and anything else that feels good from a loving self perspective, and loving self at the core center being part, not the outer egoic part. And then you will begin to wade into the waters of the river of life a little bit more. And then at some point you will willingly climb into your river raft as you begin your more wholehearted journey towards your destination, which oftentimes is off of a cliff where the river raft falls out from underneath you, and your transformed angel wings will take you to where you are meant to go, which is safety. It is an unusual journey that human doings have signed up for, and that is to transition from human doings to human beings in this particular time on this planet. It is your desired goals as a collective to get to a place where you no longer fight the energies of love and simply live within them, while accepting that all is not always perfect, but that all will always work out for the highest good of all. It is all here to teach you to transition into a new way of being and to ultimately transform into the being that your soul came here to become, the fullest and richest version of you. And it is an ongoing process, an ongoing creation of a beautiful masterpiece that will continue to develop and to grow until the day that you transition into pure energy once again. And so it is. Namaste.